Give Day 2024, it's here. I'm Kyle Haney. We're chatting with University of Lynchburg head baseball coach Travis Beazley. Coach Beazley, we just wanted to take some time to talk about this big day, talk about the season a little bit, and we'll talk about 2023's National Championship some as well. But let's start with Give Day 2024. I know it's important to you, and we do try to explain to the fans why it is so important.
Yeah, it's a huge day. It's a huge week. It's fitting that it falls this week when we got some big opponents. We got Shenandoah rolling in here this weekend that we've seen so much the last couple years. But this day, you know, it makes so many different things happen for our program, more importantly for our players. You know, I could probably go down a list. It would probably take up way more time than we have of what we've been able to provide or give them, whether it's player development-wise, experience-wise, through the generous donations of our alums, parents, supporters. You know, when Coach Jones and I got here, let's see, it's been almost 7 years now. You know, the number one thing that we really wanted to kind of pinpoint and try to provide, you know, and certainly talk about in visits was player development. And that's expensive, right? And there's subscriptions, there's technology, there's video stuff that we try to bring and enhance for our players, and that's only possible through, you know, generous donations from former players, former parents of players, current parents, supporters of our program, you know, and it can't be understated, you know, how important this day is and this week is for our program, especially moving forward.
On the broadcast, I find myself saying that all the time, that your coaching staff, you have the best mix of the old school fundamentals, those baseball things that have been talked about for hundreds of years, but also that new school with that technology piece. And the reality of our game and life in general is that it does cost money, and you want to be able to give your team the best. That helps you recruit the best. But talk about some of that technology just a little bit, because some of it is pretty fascinating. I don't even fully understand all of it.
Yeah, so we kind of, you know, on the Give Day this year, we've broken it up into a couple different areas. One of the big ones, of course, being kind of a player development standpoint. You know, I think right now we're spending anywhere between $8,000 to $10,000 a year just in subscriptions for things like Rapsoda, which is pitching and hitting data, metrics that helps with our hitters with their swing, our pitchers with their stuff, pitch design, things like that. We have Blast Motion, which is more of the swing metrics of how the body's working. We have Synergy. We were the first one in our conference to have that. We were one of 30-some Division III teams to have that last year, which is a technology piece that takes game film, breaks it up, allows us to have in-depth conversations with our players post-game, talk about their performance, gives them a good plan going into the week of what they need to work on. It also gives us a leg up when we're scouting opponents. And then there's other things that we're looking to do as well moving forward, add more cameras, add more of a scouting dynamic to what we're trying to do. There is bigger and better metric capturing devices, but with that costs more money too. But it's certainly always been a priority of trying to be on the forefront, especially against our competition, you know, when it comes to what we're providing our players from a player development standpoint. So we're proud of what we've done, but also excited where we can continue to progress moving forward.
And something that's so cool about that player development that I'll touch on is it actually extends even beyond your player's time here at Lynchburg, because Grayson Thurman, if folks don't know, while he was in that process of getting scouted or potentially picked up by the Toronto Blue Jays organization, he sent them all his data, and they said, yeah, this is matching up with what we want. So that's a fascinating element there too. It gives guys a chance to do something even beyond here with that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about meeting, you know, the industry where it is. And I think it helped Grayson a lot. It helped Brandon Pawn. It helped Zach Potts, who are both playing Division I baseball, doing their 5th year, doing some grad school stuff. Avery Neves as well. You know, you can't just have the metrics. Those guys performed and had amazing careers here and were granted the opportunity to keep playing after their time here. But certainly not only helping their development while they're here, but being able to provide just the data, the stats, the metrics certainly helps them as well.
Well, another element to our Give Day is the facilities here at the University of Lynchburg, and specifically at Fox Field. I know there's a vision, there's a plan, there's probably a plan B, C, and D as well, but touch on the facilities some and some things that you would like to see happen sooner or later or either.
Yeah, so again, like as coaches, we're trying to tackle it from two different standpoints. One that it's more of an annual thing, whether it's player development, team travel, going down and opening up against some of the best competition each year. We're able to provide our guys with brand new uniforms from a generous gift from Abby's Gift Foundation. The guys loved it. They played really well in the new look. So things like that we're able to provide, not only with the experience each year, that alums know, whether it's $25 or $100 or $200, that goes directly to our players. I think from a broader picture, to stay competitive, on the national level against our biggest competition, of course, facility upgrades here at beautiful Fox Field, where we've won so many games the last 3, 4, 5 years. Those are things that we're really excited about as well. Not only where the parents sit, permanent seating. I think moving the press box back, giving us a more of a traditional dugout to dugout, setting behind home plate. And beyond that, the other upgrades that we probably need, whether it's dugout facilities, playing surface, cage upgrades, all the things that all programs need, but I think it would be really important for us moving forward, because that's been the big message that we've tried to deliver to our players this year is, hey, last year was amazing. Of course, we're building off that momentum, but it's really about creating something that can last at that level for 10, 15, 20 years. And certainly, our player development's part of that. The people are a huge part of that, of not only the players that we recruit, the parents that we have of current players, but our supporters and our alum, can't do it without them. If we're gonna stay, hopefully at this level for 10, 15, 20 years, build something that's already here with I don't know if you can see the banners behind us, but it's history here. So it's not just the last 3 years, it's 20, 30, 40 years of great baseball here at Lynchburg. But we're trying to keep that and build on that for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And that, of course, will be made a lot easier by some generous gifts and, upgrades here to Fox Field, of course.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned the people. And really, I think, first glance, you may not think Give Day is a way to be involved, but it is for an alum, for a fan. You give a little, you give a lot. The amount doesn't really matter. Just the fact that you're taking time to make that donation, I think it does make you feel more connected to the program. And I know it's something that you appreciate a lot. And we can't do it without the donations, really.
No, absolutely. We felt that last year, with an amazing ride, an amazing year. But truly, I think what was really, really cool about that was hearing from the alums, running into people over the summer, whether they're coaching a travel team or they have a relative playing on another team, or just people reaching out at our golf tournament this year, having all these alums and people connected to our program, just how proud they were of the guys and what we were accomplished. You really get a sense that, hey, look, we've been here 7 years now. Our guys, 4 or 5 years, their experience here, but it truly is part of something much, much bigger than that. And our alums and our families and our supporters can certainly stay part of it as well. And of course, coming to games and being with us on the road or whatever, but of course, donations as well.
The trip to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, one of a kind, unforgettable. We had the president out there. We have the athletic director, so many alumni, so many friends and family. Talk about that experience, and then also folks that weren't there get a chance to feel like they're there with some of the stuff that we're doing with LHSN.
No, again, the stories we heard from everybody, it was a little bit of, hey, congrats, that's awesome, but Kyle Haney's the man. Who's your radio guy? Who's your TV guy? All year long, cannot give enough thanks to you, Sam Rice, Tim LaDuca, Caroline Gerke, the LHSN family, all that you do for not only our coverage, but the coverage of all our sports teams here. That's another way people connect it with not only our program, but all the programs can participate in Give Day, continuing to enhance LHSN, through the Athletic Directors Championship Fund. We truly are certainly the best in the conference, in my opinion, probably the best in the nation. You guys are rock stars, not only with your in-game streaming, where parents can watch it whether or not they're here. It gives us a broader reach recruiting, because we can sit there and talk to a kid from hours away and still tell mom and dad, you're gonna watch every game. You can turn it on, you can watch your son play, but also just the media coverage they're getting online too. That's part of it. Kids love it. They're tweeting out stuff all the time, and what you guys do, the graphics, the videos, the photos, it's next level. I'm not sure anybody else does anywhere close to what you guys do, and we are incredibly appreciative of that, and would certainly encourage everybody to maybe give to us first, but then certainly participate in that as well and help us continue to stay on the at the forefront in that department as well.
It's a fun day. It's Give Day 2024. Head coach Travis Beazley, thanks for taking the time to sit down with us. Best of luck the rest of the season. Playoff time is right around the corner, folks, so we know you got a lot going on in your head. We appreciate
We're excited.
you popping over. We're excited too. Give Day 2024. Thanks for helping out, One Nation. Give Day 2024. We're back here at Fox Field. Kyle Haney chatting with one of the big stars, the Sheriff, Wesley Arrington. Wes, we wanted to get a player's perspective on Give Day because I think it's something that, as a player, this stuff just shows up. You don't know how it gets there. They hand you a baseball, they hand you a uniform, but as you get older and you do this more, you do realize that it does take money, and it's just the reality of running a successful program. But let's talk about some of that stuff. Money for new uniforms, money for the technology, the Rapsodo. Talk about those two things and how important it is to you and the rest of the guys.
Yeah, I mean, just to start with like the Rapsodo and all the subscriptions that we have, huge for just development and, you know, off-season like bullpens, using Rapsodo and then, you know, having it right there in front of you, looking at, you know, spin and, you know, release height, stuff like that. Being able to make adjustments, and then with Synergy and the camera subscriptions that we have, being able to you know, scout other teams, you know, going into the game with a game plan, and you know, that stuff's huge for us, and it certainly has helped me, and I know it's helped a ton of other guys. And then yeah, with the uniforms, like, you know, these are new, thanks to Batch's family for that. But just, you know, you look good and you feel good and you play good. So, you know, we all appreciate that. We love getting, you know, new uniforms, you know, new equipment, stuff like that. So
it's a great look for sure. Let's talk about the national championship run last year a bit, because in Cedar Rapids, if folks don't know, Lynchburg was the only team to bring those non-rostered guys. The NCAA cuts down your roster size. But you guys brought those non-rostered players, and it ended up being a big advantage. Talk about that, because you pitched with those guys shouting in the stands back there, and you witnessed that even as an innocent bystander on the days you weren't pitching. How big was that for you personally and for the team?
yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, just because those guys weren't like necessarily in the dugout, like obviously they're still part of the team, and like they are one of the main reasons that we were able to get where we were going. Just, you know, the work that they put in to help us. You know, unfortunate that like we have to cut the roster size down, but you know, having them there was awesome. Like the energy that they brought in the stands, and just the support in between games, and you know, like they're our friends, so like, you know, just hanging out with them and stuff was just awesome. And like, you know, it really would have sucked not to be able to be there with all of them, and you know, not to be able to share that opportunity with them.
A couple other things for the Sheriff, Wesley Arrington. You've got friends and family that watch these games from all over the country. I've heard from your mom about all this, a cousin here and an uncle here. And we do on Give Day have an option to contribute to the LHSN side as well. But talk about how cool that is playing at Lynchburg, just the vibe in person, but then the fact that your family and friends wherever can share in the experience.
Yeah, I mean, the production is like, you know, definitely one of the best, and you know, we're super grateful for that. And you know, just having people be able to watch our games, like not just with like a center field or like a camera behind home plate, like, you know, with no audio, like, you know, we've got live play-by-play and like multiple camera angles, and it just makes it so much better, and like, you know, for fans, and that's just you know, we love that. So
we love it too. We love doing it. Last thought for you: the national championship last year, so the bar is set really high. This season, you got 20+ wins already. It hasn't been a bad year, but I know you guys have wanted a little bit more from it. How have you tried to stay relentlessly positive and forward focused to know that hey, we're wrapping up the regular season strong, then the playoffs are coming, and who knows what could happen there. Talk about just the overall flavor when you take the temperature of the team right now.
I mean, I think we're all super excited right now. You know, kind of as of recently, like over the weekends, kind of starting to figure out, like, you know, how to play the kind of baseball that we want to play moving forward. And, you know, the expectations are there, but it's more about just, like, you know, playing together, but just having fun with each other. You know, all the work that we've put in, you know, this season in the fall and stuff, like, you know, I think we're excited to kind of all, you know, be playing our best baseball at the same time, and, you know, try and make a little run in the postseason. So
I love it. Come watch that run in person here at Fox or on LHSN and see if you can help us out on this Give Day 2024.